and welcome to the Hallmarkies podcast. And today we are vacationing off to Christmas Island, and we're talking all about one of this weekend's Hallmark films for Countdown to Christmas. And I'm film critic Rachel Wagner, and Megan is here.
Hello, how are
How
you?
are
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Yes, how are you doing? How was your summer? Do you have a good summer?
Yeah, the summer was good. It felt like really long. It was still hot here until like last week, I swear.
Yeah.
It was so hot. So yeah, I'm really ready for the
Yeah.
holidays. How
Yeah.
about you?
I've been just so busy. It was so ridiculous. I've been having a bug problem at my house, and I just got off the phone with the exterminator, and I like it's like so hard to like find a window where he can come, because right now, I mean, I literally have a movie screening every single day. So it is so hard to like fit everything in, but I even had one on Sunday, which is crazy. Like normally you don't have one on Sunday. So yeah, I'm and then covering all his Hallmark movies and everything else. It's wild, but exciting. It's kind of funny talking about summer, because that was one thing about this movie is you can tell 100% that this movie was filmed in the summer. Like
Yes.
it was more obvious than almost any other Hallmark movie I've ever seen. Like nobody had on a sensible coat. Like most of the coats were just like shirts. They weren't even
Yeah.
like coats. And like they had, everything was all open and everything. And I get it. Like it's got to be the worst, to be in
Mhm.
July or in the summer in filming these movies and be all bundled up and everything. But this one, they were, I thought, exorbitantly lazy in that regard.
Yeah, I feel that way in many aspects of this movie. I really question the budget. Like I
Yeah.
feel, and I know we don't really like to talk about that because, the Hallmark movies but this one just felt really
Yeah.
like just sort of, I don't know how to put
Yeah.
it, but
Well, let's just put it
let's
this
just
way.
get into
The
it.
cast was carrying it a lot of times for this one. And we don't normally do solo episodes on movies that we're kind of like meh on, but it's just the way it worked out this weekend with the other coverage of the other movies. And so yeah, we're just gonna have a fun time talking about this like okay Hallmark movie. And it's gonna be fun. But, yeah, so Christmas Island. This one is it's directed by David Weaver, writer Samantha Herman, and it stars Andrew Walker, Rachel Skarsten, and it has it stars stars Rachel Skarsten, Andrew Walker, Jefferson Brown, Kate Drummond. So yeah, the cast was excellent, and it had some
Mhm.
fun things. I enjoyed it. It wasn't like terrible or anything, but it was pretty mid, and I think it could have been better. And it was interesting because in the preview I thought, oh, is this going to be their first sort of tropical movie on
Mhm.
Hallmark, because there is a Christmas Island in India, out of India in
Oh,
yeah. And
so
so
there's
when I was just
two?
doing what's that?
So there's two Christmas islands?
Yeah, I guess there's two Christmas islands.
Hmm.
And so that when we were doing the preview, I thought, oh, that's interesting. This will be their first tropical movie that they've done. The closest that they've done is as far as warm weather is they did that one in Louisiana last year,
Hmm.
the Southern Family Christmas or whatever.
They haven't
Uh,
done one in Hawaii?
I don't think they've done a Christmas movie in Hawaii. They did the Orange Bowl one too, which was Pasadena, so they couldn't
Oh.
pretend that one a couple of years ago that they couldn't pretend that that one was a winter environment because it was about the Rose Bowl parade. But
Right.
other than that, I don't unless I'm forgetting one that like Netflix has. They've done
Yeah, I
tropical.
think
Yeah,
other people have done it. I'm
yeah.
surprised that Hallmark hasn't. They love
No.
Hawaii. They do
Yeah,
Hawaii
that's
all the
true.
time in
But
the summer.
but no, but because in these movies, if you want to go to a warm weather, then you're like a bad person. You've lost your way in these
Right.
movies, like for
If you
Christmas.
don't want a white Christmas, there
Yeah,
is something wrong with you.
in Never Been Kissed, they at the beginning of the movie, they're like, yeah, you're taking your mother to Hawaii every Christmas. Like, and that's like their big example of her being a bad person, of her like losing her way, is that she took her mother to Hawaii every Christmas.
I'll go to Hawaii
I know, I'm
anytime.
like, can I be so cursed?
Yeah, I know. May I be so
Anytime.
cursed? Yeah,
The Hawaiian tourist board, if you're listening, I will totally come.
yeah. I'm sure it's lovely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So but there is, I guess, Christmas Island in Nova Scotia. And so it's funny. And they did work in a lot. I guess this whole thing, it was kind of interesting because both of the movies that you and I are covering today in one in another episode, we're both heavily relying on the postal system
Yes,
service.
yes.
Yeah. It's a
Never thought
big
so
plot
much.
element.
Yeah, I've never thought so much about post offices.
Ho, ho, ho! We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies Patreon.
Do you love Hallmarkies podcast, especially at Christmas?
Do you enjoy the holiday previews, recaps, interviews, and bonus episodes?
If the answer is yes, please consider supporting the Hallmarkies Patreon. We need your help to do what we do both during the Christmas season and all year round.
But not only do you help a podcast led by strong, independent women by becoming a Patreon, you get to become a part of the Hallmarkies family.
Starting at only $2 a month as a patron, you will have access to our Facebook Patreon group where we talk about the movies, shows, and more all year.
We also have many monthly patron watch-alongs with guests like Lacey Chabert, Natalie Hall, Paul Campbell, Mary Lou Henner, and more, giving their behind-the-scenes details of their films.
As a patron, you also have the chance to provide input into the podcast and even join us at different tiers.
So this Christmas season, spread some cheer to the Hallmarkies Patreon and become a member today. You won't regret it.
Go to patreon.com/hallmarkies to learn more.
That's patreon.com/Hallmarkies.
But I guess this Christmas Island postmark thing is real, is a big deal. On the Wikipedia, it says that the post office of Christmas Island gets thousands of postcards and packages a day, up to 1,000 on the busiest days during the peak holiday timeframe. These come from around the world during Christmas time, so they can be sent on to their destinations with the unique Christmas Island postmark. Greeting cards and packages come from as far as Hong Kong, Seoul, Paris, Mexico City, Sydney, Tahiti, and various points across Canada and the United States, from collectors and holiday enthusiasts to be franked with the official postmark of Christmas Island. Each year, the post office mails out from 12,000 to 14,000 Christmas cards, hand-stamped with the special postmark. So I call it shenanigans on this movie because that is a good story. That should be what this movie is about. Like that would be really like not just the Peter McNeil character like trying to keep up with the post office. Like you could tell so many stories about the people working at this post office with like hardly anybody in this town. I don't know what the official population is, but they have a post office, a fire hall, and the Wikipedia, it says it has a post office, a fire hall, and a very small population. So if you could tell like a really good story about these people in this tiny town, they get 12 to 14,000 Christmas cards every year, and all these things from all over the world and stuff. Like that's a good story. Why was that just a footnote?
So do people send, like, you send a pre postage
Yes.
note so that they'll send it back to
Yeah.
you?
So to have Christmas cards or packages stamped with the Christmas Island postmark, address and place the correct postage on the actual greeting card envelope, insert the cards or cards into a large envelope, and send it to Christmas Island Post Office. And then they got the address on Wikipedia. So if you look up Christmas Island and you want to have the postmark from Christmas Island on your, I mean, this is a type A personality. That not only are you trying to one up all your friends in, because usually these like Christmas cards and newsletters are trying to be like, look how great I am. We had the most amazing year. No, not only like you even are thinking about this postmark.
Yeah. Here's
I mean, that is
Christmas Island.
Wow.
It is kind of cool though. Like if I had a younger child it would
Yeah.
be kind of fun to send, even if it's not like just sending something out to
Yeah.
Christmas Island and getting it back would be kind of
Yeah.
fun. It's a
I
cute idea. I mean, it's very
yeah.
cute
Yeah,
and
just
very nice of that post office to actually do it. Like,
yeah,
because
I
they could
guess
just be
so.
like, no.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like that's the story here,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
That town must have a lot of Christmas spirit if
You could
they,
have a whole movie about coming up with this postmark. Maybe there's like a competition about because all these people do it. Right now it's like a little, I guess, wreath
mm,
postmark for Christmas Island. You could have the whole story about how there's like a competition and maybe somebody, dream of being the designer for the Christmas Island postmark. Who cares? Like, this is the story, not some
yeah.
pilot with a bunch of rich people.
Or it could be like, someone at the island gets a letter and it doesn't have the right postmark and they're like trying to find the owner or
Yeah.
whatever, and then
Yeah.
they fall in love.
Yes. You could
Yeah.
sign, sealed,
There we go.
delivered the heck
Yeah.
out of this thing. I mean,
Exactly.
if there was any, because we have so many of those stories within Hallmark of they've got the picture or the
Yeah.
letter or and here it's literally part of the fabric of this town is Christmas and this postmark
Yeah.
and you've got all of these greeting cards coming in from all over the world, and especially during peak Christmas time. And yeah, I don't know, there's just so many more interesting things that they could have done with this whole Christmas Island thing.
Yeah. I
So
agree
yeah.
100%.
But what they did do, have you ever heard of the musical Come From Away?
No.
Okay, so it's a Broadway musical, Come From Away. If you have Apple Plus, there's what's called a Pro Shot where they filmed the Broadway cast and the thing, so you can watch it if you have Apple Plus. Watch
Okay.
Come From Away. It is so lovely. It is so charming. I know that any of the Hallmarkies will love Come From Away. It is really, really lovely. And it tells the story of Newfoundland when after this town in Newfoundland in Canada that a whole bunch of people on 9/11 were diverted to this town in Newfoundland, and they had to all of a sudden like take care of all these people and like deal with the trauma of obviously 9/11 and everything. And it's great. It's so heartwarming. It's so lovely. And I couldn't help but think of Come From Away. Like this is like
Yeah.
Hallmark's Come From Away.
Yeah.
Except for it's just like one rich family instead of all
family.
the people. But it did have some nice community moments, I would say.
Mhm.
Some nice community moments. And I do think that one problem with this movie is that Jefferson Brown, who plays the dad, he is just, I love him. And I mean, I like Andrew Walker too, don't get me wrong, but if I had to pick, I just think Jefferson Brown. Yes, I just think he's so handsome. He's so charming. I don't know. I just like I was finding myself being like, that's my favorite of the two. Yeah.
I just thought, first of all, the family just didn't seem rich to me.
Yeah.
Like they didn't. And I know again, like,
well, because they're trying to make them not bad people, right?
right.
They're trying to make them rich, but we have to keep them just likable enough so they can't be like fun rich. You know what I mean? Like snobby and like they can't be like a Charmaine, in a High School Musical, or you know what I mean, like that
Right.
kind of he can't be like a Sharpay, or you know what I mean, this like snobby kind of characters, because they got to like redeem them in the end. They got to be likable.
But
So
even like their
tricky.
look, like their outfits, their like everything, I was just like, these people look like a totally normal.
Yeah.
I just feel like they could have done it up a little bit more.
Yeah. You know what I think is a better example of this is Christmas with the Darlings. Did you ever see that one with?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, that one was a lot better at being kind of this, or the one it was like Home for Christmas Day, I think it was called, or something. The one with Danica and there's
Yeah.
like the rich family, and she's like both of
Yeah.
those I think were better examples of like showing sort of this rich family and but still keeping them human and keeping them
Yeah, I mean, I've
and
seen it
yeah,
before. They make people look rich before. So
yeah,
I know they can do it. It's just like their outfits, I don't know, everything was just sort of plain about them.
yeah.
They didn't seem rich enough to, and I was also very confused about this whole jet thing. So like, do they own the jet?
Yeah, I think
'Cause to
so.
own a jet is like your next level. Because like there's people who like charter private jets,
Yeah,
right? But to
right.
own a jet, you're like Taylor Swift or like the Kardashians.
Right. Yeah,
And then
no,
my
yeah.
other question is, so they hire this pilot. Is she like on retainer? Does she get a salary?
No, I got the impression at the end of the movie that they were hiring her. You're hired, is basically what they say. And
Yeah.
not only
So
her, but the co-pilot as well.
then is she just like on call all the time? Or I'm just very confused about this
Right.
pilot, this
Uh-huh.
private pilot life. It does seem kind of fun though.
Yeah.
As opposed to flying like commercial.
Yeah. I got
mean,
the impression that it's similar to like I guess somebody who owns a yacht and stuff,
mm,
has their
yeah,
own. But
I
you're
guess.
right. I mean, most people, even with yachts, it's not like their personal yacht.
Yeah.
Usually it's like when they charters, as you said. Yeah, I kind of wondered about that too. I'm like, wow, these people are like
Yeah, so these people would be like super, super
super.
rich.
This is like Mark Cuban, level
Yeah.
rich.
This is
Like,
like the Kardashians. Like,
yeah.
I mean, and then my other question, then I would start thinking like, oh, has this happened to like a really famous person where they like get stranded somewhere and like what does
Mhm.
happen? Like if there's no four seasons, what do they
Yeah.
do?
Yeah, well, I mean, and that can be fun. Like I really enjoyed One Royal Holiday with the royal family getting stuck and that and then they end up staying at the inn and
Oh
everything.
yes, that one was
You
so
know.
cute.
So
Yeah.
it can be
Yeah,
fun.
they made those people look wealthy and royal. Like I know they
Yeah.
can do it. It's just like kind of fell flat. But I feel
Yeah.
like that was my issue with this movie. And again, there's nothing wrong with it. And I love the cast and I'm sure everyone was great.
Hmm.
I don't want to be a Scrooge, but everything just sort of fell flat for me. And maybe it was my personal mood, but like even the her dress, like, the big dress moment where she's
Uh-huh.
cut, like she had a suit jacket over the dress. I was like, what is going on? Is she going on a business interview? Like, why
Yeah.
is she wearing that jacket with the dress? I can't even see the dress.
Yeah, I just thought that the cast kind of elevated it for me. Like I said, I love Jefferson Brown. He was, I thought, good as the dad. And I also liked let me see here. I liked she's on Virgin River.
Oh yeah.
What's her name? I liked Lauren Hammersley playing Maggie. She
Yeah, but
was she was
okay.
I liked her. She was good. She's on Virgin River, and her
Yeah,
character is so unlikable on Virgin River. She's so annoying.
right.
So it was nice to see her in this role. I
She
also
was
liked
much
the teenage girl. I thought that she had a good little arc, and she was a good actress. Britt
she was cute.
Loder.
Yeah. I liked her and I did like her idea in the end. Although I thought they were just gonna make like an Instagram like
Uh,
an Instagram handle for like letters from Santa. Like the whole idea that they
yeah.
would individually find everyone on social media was a little intense,
Yeah.
but I liked it. Yeah, she was
Yeah.
cute and she had that little love interest a little bit with the other teenager.
Hmm. Yeah, and I really like how this season Hallmark is almost every movie there's something I've never seen before. Like they're
Mm,
really trying this season to come up with new ways to celebrate Christmas, new traditions, and that's pretty tough, especially when there's been so many. I mean, and so I dug the whole lobster trap tree. I guess that's
mm,
really a thing like that people
mm.
do, and I thought that was fun. Enjoyed
Yeah,
that. It was
it is fun to
different.
see new things. Yeah, and again, the
Mhm.
the whole letter thing is really interesting and
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Well, and they totally got Andrew Walker was the man of many jobs, as I like to say,
Yes,
in this movie. He's like
totally.
you needed him to be the contrast to like the bad man of business, that it's like the ultimate, because obviously the bad man of business is obsessed with work. It only cares about work. Doesn't even like care about their fiance or their girlfriend. All they care about is work. And he like work is an antithesis to, he's like, oh, I don't like thinking about the planes and everything. And every time you see him in this movie, he's doing a different job. He's working things.
So true.
Because he's just such a man of the community, which was really
Did
good.
you-
I mean, he was fine. I thought they had good chemistry. I just really like Jefferson Brown. I think he's so good. So it was unfortunate casting in that regard for him.
For you, yeah,
For
you
me,
were like,
for me. But Peter McNeil, I feel like he like went to Hallmark this season and was like, make me the grandpa in every movie. And I'm fine with that because he delivers. He is really good here, I think. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's Esther Hatch and her new book, One Small Secret. Step into the whimsical world of One Small Secret, where a dash of laughter and a sprinkle of Christmas cheer makes for the perfect festive read. Reuben Palmer is not only a Hotel Empire icon, he is also on every woman's Christmas list. But Cadence knows better than to fall for him. However, when a very adorable package ends up on her bed, Reuben is suddenly on her doorstep, wanting to be part of her life. Inspired by the classic movies Bachelor Mother and Bundle of Joy, this workplace rom-com is the perfect book to curl up and read with a cup of hot cocoa and your favorite blanket. So you can pick up One Small Secret anywhere you purchase novels or using our affiliate link down below. He was the husband of Jake's wife who had died at the beginning of the first movie, who died. And so by the time the series came and Jake had died, he was literally related to nobody. He was related to nobody, but he was like the grandpa. It's just kind of funny. But he was great. And I liked him here. He was good as your grandpa of the town and in the post office and everything. And did it make you want to get a lobster? Eat lobster?
I mean, I'll always eat a lobster.
Yeah.
I love lobster. I love lobster. I love crab. I love them all.
What do you think of they had the little like Santa?
Yes, really cute.
It's very festive.
Very festive.
Yeah. As I said, I wrote down, I think the coats are like shirts in this one. I mean, it was so lazy in that regard.
Yeah. And again, like, I want rich people coats and furs and like, show me rich people.
Yeah. Yeah. And the most they could make the family unlikable is every once in a while they'd say like that, oh, we have people for that. We have people for this.
Oh yeah, that when they were doing the decorations, they're like, usually someone does.
Yeah, we have people for that, for decorating the tree.
I would think you would still decorate the tree. I mean, I can see the decorations around the house being done by someone else.
Right. Yeah, like the lights and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, even like the lights on the tree. But you think you'd have your kids hang at least one ornament, but I don't know.
So they're guests in Christmas Island, and this is your guests here. You have no choice but to accept. And so she ends up sitting on Santa's lap, which was fun. I liked that. Usually don't have the adults do that. And they asked for her wish. And so she's got her secret. What's her secret wish? And evidently he has fear of flying because he doesn't like not having control, and that and it tells you have so many options, you just have to choose what makes you happiest, which is true. I mean, all jobs have their downside. They're all can be frustrating at times, but you have to pick something that makes you happiest most of the time.
Yeah. I know.
Try at least.
They call it work for a reason. Like, there's a reason you're getting paid.
Right.
If it was so great, they wouldn't pay you.
Yeah. But you find something, because there's nothing worse than being in something that you truly are unhappy. That's just, I will never Never let it happen again. What do you think of the festive flapjacks? They make you want to have some pancakes.
Yes, definitely.
Are you team pancake or team waffle?
Oh gosh, that's so hard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know because we got a waffle maker. I think my
Mm-hmm.
son got it for his birthday, and we've been making waffles, and it's just really fun to make waffles. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't know. It's
I'm
right.
team pancake. I'm team pancake, but I'm not opposed to waffles.
Belgian waffle with like some whipped cream. I mean,
Yeah. Or like I love it with like a little Nutella.
mm-hmm.
Fruit.
Yes,
That's so good.
so good.
If you ever come to Salt Lake, there's a place here called Waffle Love.
Oh,
And yeah, and they do they're slightly yeasty. They're like Belgian, well, not Belgian waffles, they're like Liege waffles is what they're called. And
oh,
yeah. And they have the waffles are good. They're yummy, but in particular, they have this fried chicken. If you get the chicken and waffles, and then there's the honey sauce. Oh, it's making me hungry. It's so good. It is delicious.
yeah. My family loves chicken and waffles. I mean, I could.
Yeah, oh, you'd love it. You'd love it. So I feel like they have a near kiss in this, and he
Mhm.
says, "That smile, it makes me happy." I feel like they could have made this more interesting of a near kiss, because that should have like really floored her. Like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Like, because it kind of goes against her whole sort of life philosophy, right? Like, and so she should have had, so that's the problem with the near kiss, is that like in reality a near kiss, as far as how it would affect the character, shouldn't be that different than an actual kiss. Like, you
Right.
should you should when they're effective is when somebody is like, oh whoa, it just almost happened, and there was no sense of like introspection of her being like, okay, I'm being drawn to this person, and what does this mean?
Right. And like she's also supposed to sort of be working, so it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Yeah, I agree. Although I've never had a near kiss in my entire life.
Yeah. You just went for it.
Yeah.
I would just
I've
go
never
for
had
it.
a problem with kissing.
Yeah. Well, so then she tells him what she wished for. And she says, "I wished that Oliver knew how happy he made me this Christmas," which that makes no sense. That's what she would have wished it that quickly when she just barely met him. And that she would tell him that. But then they're just like, okay, let's go for it. And they went for it. Then no near kiss. They kiss.
Yeah. I mean, I did
Which
like that
just didn't make sense for her character. She's supposed to be this like stuffy pilot and all, like, you know.
I did like that the family was like all for it. Like I thought that was kind of cute.
Yeah.
When at the end then they're like, "Go get your man." Like
Oh
I
yeah,
thought
the
that was
ending kiss. I'm all
Oh,
for it.
okay. So
This
you're
is the
talking
first
okay, sorry.
kiss.
You're
Yeah,
still
yeah.
talking about the first kiss. Got it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I wrote
Like,
make out. Exclamation point. And then the mom made all these dresses for everybody in the family. I don't even know how she got that material, but um that uh that that she says, we all need to be happy or none of this works. And this is when you get the lobster trap
mhm.
tree, which was fun. And you get the dancing, you see the co-pilot there, because he was like gonna stay on the plane for like until they needed him again. I'm like, what?
I don't think you can do that because like the air conditioning. Like
Yeah,
wouldn't
well, I
you,
mean,
like
it's like a fancy plane, so maybe it has, quarters, I guess. I don't know, but
Oh,
but
yeah. But I
but
think
still, I would think you would want like a shower, and you'd want
yeah. That's I did think about that because I was like, "Oh, if you're really really rich and it's your plane." I keep going back to the Kardashians because her plane is like covered in cashmere. Like
right.
maybe you would just stay on the like maybe there is like a whole room you would just stay, on
Yeah,
the
I would
plane.
think
But then
you'd want to get off the plane though, just for your own sanity.
yeah, I know. I guess I was wondering because on commercial flights, like it gets really stuffy and stuff,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
no. So I don't know how the airflow works.
Or
I
they
know
got their
everything of
they got
it.
their indentured servant, the
Yeah.
co-pilot. But she made the dresses, and that was fun. And she sort of realizes, oh, I have this talent that I should be using instead of just being a lady of leisure.
I was so confused by her job because they said she was like the Martha Stewart. Didn't they say that?
Did they? I thought she
they
was
did,
just
'cause
like
she was like famous. No, but she was famous.
I thought she was just famous for being like rich.
Oh, I thought no, because it was like that it was her empire that like made them famous. I thought, but then they said because remember when she gets there, the woman from Virgin River was like, "Oh my God!" Like she knew who she was.
Oh yeah, you're
I
right.
could have sworn they said something about Martha Stewart, but then when she designed the dress, I was like, "Well, Martha Stewart wasn't a designer," so I was a little confused.
Yeah, I
I
was
did
like
like the
confused by that
sentiment,
too.
but I also thought it was weird that she would spend all of her time upstairs sewing dresses instead of spending time with her family. You know, it was
Yeah.
like it was supposed to be
These were
her
like
real
super
life.
fast dresses, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they were so bad she had to put a jacket over it.
Well, and of course, Peter McNeil will not accept any money from these people, because he's a good person.
We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies merch store.
Are you looking for that perfect gift for the postable, hardy, or Hallmarky in your life?
What about getting that t-shirt or hoodie that will help you stand out at your next holiday party?
Now is the time to check out the Hallmarkies merch store.
Full of festive designs by artists like Jessica Miller, Carrie from Hallmark Comics, and more.
You can even have more than just shirts, but totes, cell phone cases, notebooks, mugs, and more.
And it isn't just Hallmark. We have designs for Anna Green Gables, Man from Snowy River, The Nanny, and more.
Every purchase at the merch store goes to help support the podcast and allows us to make the great content you know and love.
There are frequent sales, so go to tpublic.com/stores/hallmarkies or see the link in the description.
That's tpublic.com/stores/hallmarkies.
And he would never but so they end up donating to the memorial fund, and she gets the permanent pilot position, and then she says, why are the girl says, why are you here and not at the airport, to Andrew Walker's character. That was a fun, like, really, the ending actually really worked for me. That was super fun. They're like rushing to the airport. I mean, it's a cliche, the rush to the airport, but I liked it. And then he tells her how he feels, and then they all look at each other, the family, should we stay on Christmas Island? And then this is, go get your Oliver.
Yeah, that was really sweet. I liked that.
And then he says, I think I'm finally able to get over my fear of flying.
Yeah, I mean, that was a quick getting over your fear of flying.
Yeah, it really was.
I mean, I guess there's pills for that, but like, wow, that's love will conquer all.
Yeah, it reminded me of French Kiss. Have you ever seen French Kiss?
Oh, maybe like years and years ago.
I love it. It's one of my faves. And you can see our Meg Ryan movie ranking that we did this week. But I do really enjoy it. And in that she has a crippling fear of flying. And they end up sitting next to each other, her and the guy, and he basically like fights with her so that it distracts her from the whole opening.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Which is really funny, me cute. And so that kind of reminded me of that. And yeah, I mean, this is perfectly fine. And I have to say, I have just been the queen of kindness this year for Hallmark, because even like there's only been one that I thought was truly not good. And then there's been two that were not good, that were like fun, not good. Like, and then most of the rest of them, and then there's been a couple excellent ones, and then most rest of the ones were like, it's fine.
Yeah, this one was perfectly fine. I mean, it was cute. Like, it was exactly what you expect from a Hallmark movie. Yeah, and it was, the whole Christmas Island thing was really fun. Like you said, in the letters, and there is nothing wrong with it at all. It was
I liked the cast. Some of the things like with the lobster traps, that was fun. So overall, if you're jonesing for, if this were to come on and you're just like, folding your laundry or anything. It's fine.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. It has the Christmas feels, but I just think that we need another movie about this post office and in this postmark. There is so much potential there. There's so many stories that you could tell. So hopefully they will see this and it'll be an inspiration.
I agree 100%. I would like to
Mhm.
see more about Christmas Island.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
post-
Well, very good. Let us know what you think of Christmas Island. Where were you at on it? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments section or on Twitter. And Megan, you're not on social media right now, right?
Oh my God, I'm not.
Okay.
I like lost my Twitter, and then everyone's kind of off of Twitter. I think I should join Threads, but I haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good in theory, but but yeah, you can find me at Rachel's Reviews all over social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. Check that out. And you can even find my review of Come From Away if you're looking for it at rachelsreviewstheater.com. And because it really is so good. Come From Away.
That sounds really, really sweet.
Yeah. And that would be a good one eventually to do for On Friendship, because it's all about friendship of this town and everything. But make sure you're following the podcast at Hallmarkies Pod and Hallmarkies Podcast, all of our social media. And if you are listening on iTunes, please leave your ratings and reviews 5 stars. We got 2 really positive reviews this week, and it made my day. So please do that. And then if you are watching YouTube, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Most of our viewers on YouTube aren't subscribers. So if you're in that camp, please subscribe. And then we also have the Patreon group, which is really fun. And you're going to be a part of watch-alongs and other activities that are a blast. So please take a look at the Patreon. And then we have the merch store where we have a whole bunch of new fun designs. I kind of took a little bit of a Barbie inspiration in coming up with Jessica Miller, our artist, coming up with some of the designs. We have I'm a Hallmark girl, kind of like I'm a Barbie girl, so it's fun. I'm a Hallmark girl, I'm a theater girl, all that stuff, and some other fun designs, plus our tried and true favorites. And so if you're looking for a gift for the Hallmarky in your life, it is the perfect place, and you can support the pod. So take a look at that. And again, let us know what you think, and we hope you all have a very, very Merry Christmas. Bye.
Merry Christmas.